Billionaire CEO mocked a black janitor with a secret puzzle. His answer stunned the company. Isabella Crawford, CEO of Crawford Tech Industries, stayed late in her corner office on the 47th floor, reviewing quarterly reports. At 28, she'd inherited her father's tech empire and expanded it ruthlessly, earning a reputation as the Ice Queen of Silicon Valley. Her platinum blonde hair was pulled back severely, designer glasses perched on her nose as she worked through the night. At 11 p.m., she heard the soft sound of a cleaning cart in the hallway. The night janitor knocked gently on her door. "Come in," she called without looking up. Devon Matthews entered quietly, pushing his cart. At 32, he'd been working the night shift for 6 months, saving money while secretly pursuing his PhD in advanced mathematics at Stanford. His colleagues had no idea about his academic background. To them, he was just another janitor. "Good evening, Miss Crawford. I can come back later if you're busy." Isabella glanced up, irritated by the interruption. "Just clean quickly and quietly." As Devon emptied her wastebasket, his eyes caught something interesting on her desk. A complex mathematical puzzle she'd been struggling with for weeks. It was a quantum encryption algorithm that her entire R&D department couldn't solve. The solution would be worth millions in government contracts. "That's an interesting problem," Devon said quietly. Isabella looked up sharply. "Excuse me." "The equation on your desk. It's a fascinating approach to quantum cryptography." She stared at him in disbelief. "You think you understand quantum cryptography?" "I understand mathematics," Devon replied simply. Isabella laughed mockingly. "Right. A janitor understands advanced mathematics. That's rich." "Education and employment aren't always aligned," Devon said with dignity. "Oh, please," Isabella scoffed. "I spent 4 years at MIT studying this exact field. My team of PhD mathematicians has been working on this problem for months, but sure, the night janitor has insights they're missing." Devon continued cleaning, saying nothing more. But as he worked, his mind automatically processed the equations he'd glimpsed. The solution was actually quite elegant once you approached it from the right angle. "You know what?" Isabella stood up, a cruel smile playing on her lips. "Since you're such a mathematical genius, why don't you take a shot at it? I'll give you 5 minutes to solve what my team can't." She turned her laptop screen toward him, displaying the complex algorithm. "Go ahead. Dazzle me with your janitorial brilliance." Devon looked at the screen, then at Isabella's mocking expression. He could walk away, maintain his anonymity, continue his quiet life, or he could show her that intelligence wasn't determined by job titles. "May I use your whiteboard?" he asked calmly. "By all means," Isabella gestured grandly. "This should be entertaining." Devon approached the whiteboard and began writing equations with swift, confident strokes. His handwriting was precise, his mathematical notation flawless. Within minutes, he'd reframed the entire problem, approaching it from a completely different theoretical foundation. Isabella's smirk faded as she watched him work. The equations were sophisticated, the methodology sound. This wasn't guesswork, this was advanced mathematical reasoning at the highest level. "The error in your team's approach," Devon said as he wrote, "is assuming a linear progression through the quantum states. But if you treat it as a multidimensional matrix and apply topological principles," he continued writing, showing how the problem could be solved using advanced techniques that Isabella's team hadn't considered. His solution was elegant, innovative, and absolutely correct. "There," he said, setting down the marker. "The algorithm is solvable. The key is understanding that quantum encryption doesn't follow traditional mathematical rules." Isabella stared at the whiteboard in stunned silence. The solution was perfect, more than perfect. It was brilliant. This janitor had just solved in 10 minutes what her team of experts couldn't solve in months. "Who are you?" she whispered. "Devon Matthews," he replied simply. "PhD candidate in advanced mathematics at Stanford, specializing in theoretical quantum mechanics." "You're a PhD candidate? Then why are you working as a janitor?" "Because PhD stipends don't cover rent in Silicon Valley, and night shift work allows me to attend classes during the day." Isabella felt her world tilt. Everything she'd assumed about this man, every prejudice she'd held, crumbled in an instant. Hello, my Stop Racism family. Thank you for tuning in today. Before we dive deeper into this beautiful love story, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop your country and state in the comments below. Also, I'd love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the story so far? Do you believe love can truly conquer prejudice? Let us know in the comments. We love reading them. And trust me, your words motivate us to keep making these videos. Let's make this video reach at least 50 comments. Your support means the world to us, and it drives us to create even more meaningful content for you. So don't forget to comment, share, and keep spreading love. The next morning, Isabella called an emergency meeting with her R&D department. The team of 12 PhD mathematicians gathered in the conference room, expecting another deadline extension request for the quantum encryption project. "Gentlemen," Isabella began, pulling up Devon's solution on the main screen. "I want you to review this algorithm solution." Dr. Marcus Chen, her head mathematician, studied the equations carefully. "This is extraordinary. The approach is completely novel. Who solved this?" "Someone with a fresh perspective," Isabella said carefully. "What's your professional assessment?" "It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The theoretical foundation is sound, the execution is flawless, and the practical applications are immense. This could revolutionize quantum cryptography." Dr. Chen looked up admiringly. "Which university did this come from? MIT? Stanford? Princeton?" Isabella hesitated. "Stanford, actually. We need to hire whoever did this immediately. This level of insight is exactly what our team has been missing." That evening, Isabella waited until Devon arrived for his shift. She'd spent the entire day thinking about their encounter, about her assumptions and prejudices, about the brilliant mind hidden behind a janitor's uniform. "Mr. Matthews," she said when he knocked on her door, "we need to talk." "Miss Crawford, I hope I didn't overstep last night." "You didn't overstep. You showed me something I needed to see." She gestured to a chair. "Please, sit down." Devon sat carefully, still uncertain about this conversation. "I presented your solution to my R&D team today," Isabella continued. "They called it brilliant, revolutionary. They want to hire whoever created it immediately." "I see." "Mr. Matthews, Devon, I owe you an apology. I made assumptions about your intelligence based on your job, and that was wrong. Completely wrong. Thank you for saying that. But I need to understand something. You're clearly overqualified for janitorial work. Why haven't you applied for positions in your field?" Devon was quiet for a moment. "Have you ever submitted a resume with a name like Devon Matthews to tech companies, with an address in East Oakland instead of Palo Alto?" "I've applied to hundreds of positions. The few interviews I got, they were clearly surprised by my appearance and found reasons not to hire me." Isabella felt shame wash over her. Systemic discrimination. "Exactly. So I take work where I can get it, finish my PhD, and hope that eventually credentials will matter more than assumptions. What if I told you I wanted to offer you a position here? Head of quantum research, reporting directly to me?" Devon stared at her. "Are you serious?" "Completely serious. Your solution saved us months of work and potentially millions in contracts. You've earned it. Ms. Crawford, I appreciate the offer, but I don't want charity or guilt hiring. This isn't charity. This is recognizing talent that was right under my nose." Isabella leaned forward. "Devon, you're exactly what this company needs." "What I need?" Something in her tone made him look at her more carefully. There was vulnerability there, beneath the corporate armor. "All right," he said finally. "I accept. Excellent. You start Monday. And Devon, thank you for showing me that intelligence doesn't wear a suit." Devon's first day as head of quantum research created quite a stir. The team that had respected his anonymous solution was shocked to discover their new boss was the former night janitor. "This is highly irregular," Dr. Peterson muttered to his colleagues, "promoting a janitor to department head?" "Actually," Dr. Chen corrected, "we're promoting the person who solved our impossible problem in 10 minutes. Devon handled the transition with quiet dignity, focusing on the work rather than office politics. Within weeks, he'd revolutionized the department's approach to quantum cryptography, leading breakthrough after breakthrough. Isabella found herself making excuses to visit the research department, ostensibly to check on progress, but really to watch Devon work. His passion for mathematics was infectious, his leadership style inclusive and brilliant. "The quantum entanglement protocol is ready for testing," Devon reported during their weekly meeting. Excellent. The Defense Department is very interested in our progress. Devon, Isabella said as he prepared to leave, would you like to join me for dinner tonight? To discuss the project, of course. He paused at the door. Business dinner. Yes, she said, then added more quietly, though I'd enjoy the company regardless of business. That evening, over dinner at an upscale restaurant, their conversation ranged from quantum mechanics to personal dreams, from corporate strategy to family backgrounds. Tell me about your family, Isabella said. My mother is a nurse. My father teaches high school math. They sacrificed a lot to help me get an education. They're proud but worried about the corporate world. Worried how? They've seen too many bright black men get chewed up by environments that don't value them. They want to make sure I don't lose myself chasing acceptance. Isabella set down her wine glass. And are you? Losing yourself? I don't think so. But being in your world, it's different. I have to prove myself constantly in ways that my white colleagues don't. That's not fair. No, it's not, but it's reality. Isabella found herself genuinely interested in Devon's perspective, his experiences, his insights into company culture she'd never considered. What about you? Devon asked. What's it like being a young female CEO in tech? Lonely, she admitted. Everyone wants something from me. Board approval, investor confidence, employee loyalty. Sometimes I wonder if anyone sees me as a person rather than a position. I see you as a person, Devon said quietly. Their eyes met across the table, and something shifted between them. Professional respect was becoming personal attraction. Over the following months, Devon's department became Crawford Tech's crown jewel. His innovations attracted attention from major tech companies and government agencies. More importantly for Isabella, their working relationship deepened into genuine friendship and growing attraction. The MIT delegation was impressed with your presentation, Isabella told him after a major client meeting. Our presentation, Devon corrected. I couldn't have done it without your business insights. Devon, you don't need to be modest. You're exceptional at what you do. So are you. People think running a company is just about money and power, but watching you work, you genuinely care about innovation, about people. They were working late again, alone in the office. The sexual tension that had been building for weeks was becoming harder to ignore. Isabella, Devon said carefully, I should probably mention that I'm attracted to you. Just attracted? She asked, moving closer. Completely captivated, actually. Good, she whispered, because I haven't been able to stop thinking about you for weeks. When they kissed, it was with months of pent-up attraction and growing emotional connection. But as they broke apart, reality intruded. This complicates things, Isabella said breathlessly. Everything worthwhile is complicated, Devon. I'm your boss. There are power dynamics, corporate policies. There are also two adults who care about each other. What if people think you got your position because of this? Then they're idiots who don't understand that I got my position by solving your impossible math problem. Isabella laughed, despite her concerns. You make it sound simple. The feelings are simple. Everything else we can figure out. But figuring out everything else proved more challenging than either expected. How's this story hitting you so far? Tell us in the comments. If you're loving it, type 1. If not, type 0. We want to know what you think. News of Isabella and Devon's relationship spread through Crawford Tech like wildfire. The gossip ranged from whispered speculation to open criticism. The Ice Queen is dating her employee? People murmured in hallways. She promoted a janitor to department head, and now they're sleeping together. It's either a diversity publicity stunt or she's lost her mind. The most vocal opposition came from Vice President Gerald Whitman, who'd been passed over for several promotions since Devon's arrival. This relationship is compromising the company's integrity. He complained to the board. We look unprofessional. Devon's department has increased our value by 30%. Board member Sarah Kim pointed out, how is success unprofessional? It's about appearances. What do clients think when they see our CEO dating someone who was cleaning toilets 6 months ago? They think she's smart enough to recognize talent regardless of packaging. Sarah replied coldly, but the criticism was taking its toll. Isabella faced questions from investors, skepticism from clients, and constant scrutiny of her decisions. Maybe we should keep things more private. she suggested to Devon during a particularly difficult week. You mean hide our relationship? I mean, be more discreet. People are talking. People always talk, Isabella. The question is whether you're going to let their opinions dictate your life. It's not just my life. It's the company, our employees, everything I've built. And what about what we're building together? Isabella was torn between her feelings for Devon and the pressure she felt as CEO to maintain a certain image. The breaking point came during a major investor presentation. As Isabella presented quarterly results, one investor interrupted with a personal question. Ms. Crawford, there are rumors about your relationship with an employee. How does this affect your judgment as CEO? The room fell silent. Isabella felt every eye on her, waiting to see how she'd respond. My personal relationships don't affect my professional judgment, she said firmly. Our results speak for themselves. But surely you understand the concerns about workplace propriety? I understand that Crawford Tech has never been more profitable or innovative than it is today. If you have concerns about our performance, let's discuss those. My personal life is not up for debate. After the meeting, Devon found Isabella in her office, visibly shaken. That was humiliating, she said. That was brave. You stood up for it. Devon, I don't know if I can handle this constant scrutiny. What are you saying? I'm saying maybe they're right. Maybe this relationship is too complicated, too public, too what? Too real? Isabella looked at him with tears in her eyes. I love you, but I don't know if love is enough. Devon's response to Isabella's doubts came in an unexpected form. The next morning, he submitted his resignation letter. What is this? Isabella demanded, storming into his office. My resignation. Effective in 2 weeks. Devon, you can't be serious. You said the relationship was too complicated because I work for you, so I won't work for you anymore. But your research, your team, everything you've built here, will continue without me. I've trained my replacement, documented all my work. The department will be fine. Isabella stared at him in shock. Where will you go? I've been offered a position at Stanford, full professor, tenure track, my own research lab. You've been planning this? I've been considering options. Last night's conversation made the decision clear. So you're just leaving, walking away from us? Devon stood and moved closer to her. Isabella, I'm walking away from the power dynamic that's poisoning our relationship. I'm not walking away from you. I don't understand. I'm offering to love you as an equal, not as your employee. The question is whether you're brave enough to love me back without the safety net of corporate hierarchy. Isabella felt her world shifting. Devon was forcing her to choose between the safe, controlled environment of their workplace relationship and the uncertain territory of genuine partnership. If you leave Crawford Tech, we'll see each other as equals. Exactly. No more concerns about workplace propriety. No more questions about whether I earned my position. Just two people who care about each other, building something together. But your career here, everything you've accomplished, will always be part of my resume. But Isabella, I didn't fall in love with your company. I fell in love with you. That evening, Isabella sat alone in her office, staring at Devon's resignation letter. She could accept it, let him go, return to the safe loneliness she'd known before, or she could fight for what they had together. She picked up her phone and called an emergency board meeting. The next morning, Isabella faced the Crawford Tech board with a proposal that shocked everyone. I'm offering Devon Matthews a new position, she announced. Chief Innovation Officer, equal rank to Vice President, reporting directly to the board rather than to me. Isabella, that's highly irregular, Board Chairman Robert Hayes said. So is losing our most valuable researcher because of gossip and prejudice. But the optics are that we value talent over appearance, innovation over conformity, results over rumors. Vice President Gerald Whitman objected loudly. This is obviously personal favoritism. Gerald, Isabella interrupted. Devon's department has generated more profit in 6 months than your division has in 2 years. If this is favoritism, we need more of it. Board member Sarah Kim leaned forward. Isabella, are you sure this isn't just about your relationship? My relationship with Devon is exactly why I can't be his direct supervisor anymore. By making him Chief Innovation Officer, we remove any conflict of interest while retaining his expertise. And if he refuses the position, then we lose the most brilliant mind this company has ever employed, because we're too narrow-minded to see past prejudices. The board voted 7-2 to approve the new position. Isabella immediately called Devon. The board approved my proposal. You're now Chief Innovation Officer, equal rank, reporting to them instead of me. Isabella, what did you do? I chose us. I chose to fight for what matters instead of worrying about what people think. Are you sure about this? Devon, you were right. I was letting fear dictate my choices. I don't want to live that way anymore. That evening, Devon found Isabella in her office, not as her employee for the first time in months. So, he said, sitting across from her desk, we're equals now. Completely equal. The board loves you, your new salary is embarrassingly generous, and you have your own budget for research initiatives. And us? Isabella stood and walked around her desk, sitting on the edge in front of him. Us is whatever we want it to be. No more hiding, no more apologizing, no more letting other people's opinions matter more than our feelings. I love you, Isabella Crawford. I love you too, Devon Matthews. And I'm done being afraid of what that means. When they kissed this time, it was without reservation, without fear, without anything but pure love and commitment to their future together. 6 months later, Devon and Isabella had not only stabilized their relationship, but transformed Crawford Tech into Silicon Valley's most innovative company. Their partnership, both professional and personal, became a model for other corporations. The Defense Department wants to expand our contract, Devon reported during their morning coffee meeting. A daily ritual they'd established. How much expansion? 50 million over 2 years. They want exclusive access to our quantum encryption technology. That's incredible. Your research has really revolutionized the field. Our research, Devon corrected. I couldn't have done any of this without your business acumen and support. Their relationship had evolved into true partnership. Isabella's strategic thinking complemented Devon's innovative research, creating a synergy that benefited both their personal and professional lives. There's something else, Devon said, looking nervous suddenly. What? I've been invited to present our research at the International Quantum Computing Conference. It's the most prestigious event in the field. Devon, that's amazing. You have to accept. The thing is, they want both of us to present. They're calling our collaboration groundbreaking, not just the technology, but the business model, the partnership approach. Isabella felt a surge of pride and excitement. We'll be presenting as equals, as partners. Exactly. No one will question whether you're qualified or whether I earned my position. We'll be recognized for what we've accomplished together. The International Quantum Computing Conference was held in Geneva, bringing together the world's leading researchers and tech executives. Devon and Isabella's presentation was the keynote address, attended by over 1,000 scientists and industry leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, Isabella began, we're here to discuss not just quantum computing innovation, but innovation in how we recognize and nurture talent. Devon continued, 6 months ago, I was working as a night janitor while pursuing my PhD. Today, I'm Chief Innovation Officer at Crawford Tech because one person was willing to look beyond assumptions. Their presentation was flawless, covering both the technical breakthroughs and the business philosophy that made them possible. The audience was captivated by their story and their results. During the Q&A session, a researcher from MIT asked, Mr. Matthews, what advice would you give to other talented individuals who feel overlooked by traditional hiring practices? Persist. Continue developing your skills and don't let rejection define your worth. Sometimes it takes the right person at the right moment to recognize your value. And Ms. Crawford, asked a reporter, what would you tell other executives about recognizing talent? Look beyond resumes and first impressions. The best innovations often come from unexpected sources. If we only hire people who look like us and think like us, we miss out on the diversity of thought that drives real breakthroughs. After the presentation, they were surrounded by colleagues, offering congratulations, collaboration opportunities, and speaking invitations. This is incredible, Isabella whispered to Devon as they navigated the crowd of admirers. You realize what this means? Devon replied. We've officially made it. No one can question our credentials, our partnership anymore. That evening, at the conference gala, Devon surprised Isabella with an announcement of his own. Isabella, he said as they danced, this conference has been amazing, But I want to ask you something important. What's that? Will you marry me? Isabella stopped dancing, staring at him in shock. Are you serious? Completely serious. I love you. I respect you. And I want to spend my life building something beautiful with you. Yes, she whispered. Then louder, yes, absolutely yes. The other conference attendees burst into applause as Devon slipped a ring onto Isabella's finger, sealing their partnership in every possible way. 1 year later, Isabella and Devon's wedding was featured in both tech industry magazines and mathematics journals. The first time a couple had been covered by both publications for their professional accomplishments as well as their romance. The ceremony took place at Stanford University, where Devon had completed his Ph.D. and now served as an adjunct professor, while maintaining his role at Crawford Tech. Today, the officiant said, we celebrate not just the union of two people, but the triumph of love over prejudice, recognition over assumption, and partnership over hierarchy. In the audience sat Devon's parents, his research team, Isabella's board of directors, and colleagues from around the world who had been inspired by their story. Devon, Isabella said in her vows, you taught me that true leadership means recognizing talent wherever it exists. You showed me that love isn't about power or position. It's about seeing and celebrating the best in each other. Isabella, Devon replied, you had the courage to look past appearances and assumptions. You proved that real change happens when people choose fairness over comfort, truth over convention. Crawford Tech had become one of Silicon Valley's most successful companies, known for both its innovative technology and its progressive hiring practices. Their story had inspired other companies to reconsider their recruitment strategies and workplace cultures. 2 years after their wedding, Devon and Isabella established the Crawford Matthews Foundation, dedicated to identifying and supporting overlooked talent in STEM fields. We want to ensure that no brilliant mind goes unrecognized because of prejudice or limited opportunities, Isabella explained at the foundation's launch event. Our scholarship program will support students like I was, academically excellent but financially struggling, passionate about science but lacking traditional networks, Devon added. Their first scholarship recipients included inner-city students, first-generation college attendees, and career changers pursuing advanced degrees. The foundation also partnered with major corporations to create internship programs that focused on potential rather than pedigree. This is bigger than us now, Isabella told Devon as they reviewed scholarship applications in their home office. It always was bigger than us. We just needed to grow into understanding that. Their personal happiness had become a platform for social change, proving that love stories could indeed change the world. How's this story hitting you so far? Tell us in the comments. If you're loving it, type 1. If not, type 0. We want to know what you think. 5 years after Devon first solved Isabella's impossible math problem, they sat in their home office working on new research projects. The walls were lined with awards, patents, and photos from conferences around the world. Remember when you mocked me for thinking I could understand quantum cryptography? Devon teased, looking up from his latest research. I remember being an arrogant CEO who nearly missed out on the best thing that ever happened to her, Isabella replied, smiling. And now I know that the most important equation isn't mathematical. It's the formula for recognizing love when it appears in unexpected forms. Their daughter, 3-year-old Maya, ran into the office chasing their cat, disrupting their work but filling the room with laughter. Daddy, what are you working on? Maya asked, climbing into Devon's lap. I'm trying to solve a very difficult problem, sweetheart. Is it harder than the one that made you and Mommy fall in love? Devon and Isabella exchanged amused glances. No, baby girl. That was the easiest problem I ever solved. How come? Because, Isabella said, picking up Maya and settling her between them. Sometimes the most complicated questions have the simplest answers, like how much we love each other. Infinite, Maya announced confidently, having learned the concept from her mathematically minded parents. Exactly right, Devon agreed, kissing both his wife and daughter. As evening fell over Silicon Valley, the former CEO and the former janitor continued working side by side, solving new problems, building their legacy, and proving every day that love combined with mutual respect could indeed change everything. Their story became legend in the tech world, not just as a romance, but as proof that innovation comes from the most unexpected places, that true leadership means recognizing talent in all its forms, and that the best partnerships are built on equality, respect, and the courage to see beyond surface appearances. The billionaire CEO who had once mocked a janitor's intelligence had learned the most important lesson of all, that love, like the best mathematical solutions, is both elegant and transformative, capable of solving problems that seemed impossible and creating possibilities that no one could have imagined.